we've come away camping in the van. We've come to the Lake District. We're in a place called Crook, which is quite close to Kemble and Lake Windermere. When we first got here, it was just horrendous weather, rain, 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 and now look at it. There we go, that's England for you. Let me show you. Look at this. I found an Asian tourist. Hello Asian tourist, what are you doing here? Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Incredible rustic mossy stone walls, beautiful rolling fields, and for now, sunshine. And again? You have got the sheep call perfected. Oh, they're running away. They're running away. I'd run away from me if I was a sheep. So my version of electric hookup is relatively basic. Just one of those 16 amp cables. I run it through the window. As you can see here, we've got a Beko wind deflector on the other side, so that stops the rain from coming in. And that yellow cable literally just goes to a 4-way socket that I stuff on the driver's seat. And with that, we can plug in various phone chargers and a heater. One essential bit of equipment that I do plug in is a little laptop power supply. And what that does is that feeds into the charge controller and the leisure battery underneath the seat here, and it keeps that leisure battery topped up so that whilst the fridge is running, we don't really draw too much power from the leisure battery. Another thing that we swear by in this van are our creative covers and blackout blinds, and they're just magnetic and literally just clip straight onto the metal surround. Whoops, immediately magnetized itself, and they just clip onto the metal surround around the windows. So it's a little messy in here at the moment, all the muddy footprints. And that was because it was raining so much yesterday. But here's our DC mate. And our DC mate, as you can see, is showing 14.5 volts. There's no current draw at the moment because the pump on the fridge isn't running. But 14.5 volts ultimately means that the laptop power supply is doing a good job of charging the leisure battery through our C-Tech charge control circuit. So happy with that. Here's our heater. My wife is absolutely enamored by our heater, which sits in the front here, and actually the heater gets stored there when we're traveling. Another little bonus is this seat here comes out on rails. Let me show you. So once you've brought the seat out on its rails, as you can see, the whole seat slides this way. You can then spin it around. You can sit there enjoying the view out the side of the van. And more importantly, and there we have it, the seat is now rotated and in place and has opened up some room in the van so that we can both sit in here. And last night we were playing poker until midnight. So Vicky's just opening some windows and letting some light in through the top of the tent there. One really good thing about the tent on top of this van is you can unzip the bottom of it just here. And once you've unzipped the bottom of it, you can then push that tent up and just open it all up. And it's like a little turret on top of the van, and you can get up there and look outside and enjoy the views with no canvas in the way. Best thing about the fridge, cold vodka, cold milk, cold food, and properly cold, happy days. And up there, oh, you can even create ice if you want to.
Ice, yeah.
Sniff it, sniff it. Ooh. Sniff it, sniff it, sniff it.
Smells good too.
Okay.
Thank you.
tea and scones, Mrs. Game Player. We're just prepping up some basic food tonight because last night we went to the pub and had a slap-up meal. Tonight, cooking in the van, dual hob, a frying pan on there and a saucepan on there, and mushrooms, carrots, a cheating sauce, cheating meatballs, and terrible cheese, and more importantly, a vodka and coke in a mug. And the wife is still playing Super Bomberman. This is a Falkneven F1. It's a Swedish aircraft pilot's knife. It's thick, it's sharp, it's folded by metal. It's beautiful. I love it. Do I sound a bit like a knife weirdo? And yeah, I use it to chop stuff. So that's the next part of the mission. So I know my videos are a bit random and bonkers, but you know, this is the Swedish F1 Falkneven F1. I always keep a ferrocerium rod in there, a ferrite chloride rod, a ferrite aerial. But what an amazing knife. I always make sure I keep it very sharp, treat it, and it never goes away dirty, but it's a beauty. There's two pieces of metal, both of them are hardened to different levels. The piece of metal that actually makes the blade itself is folded like a sandwich into that knife. So the outside metal is cheaper quality metal, still very good, and the inside metal is super high tensile. Really appreciate this knife, have done for a long time. So with a good knife like that, you can chop carrots and mushrooms and prepare meatballs. I should probably have gone and caught a rabbit or something, but nah, we're just going to sit here and play computer games. Another really interesting thing about this trip, you might notice up here it says no service. We've had no service for a couple of days. I'm struggling. I don't know if I'm struggling or if I'm happy with this concept. But ultimately, I can't look at eBay, I can't check my emails, I can't look at YouTube, I can't look at Facebook. I think it's a good thing. It's training my mind to think a different way. But wow, yeah. And the wife is still playing Bomberman. Well, I couldn't help it. Nintendo DS has come out. Wife's on the Switch. What's hilarious? No signal for the phones, for internet communication. The wife has stolen my Switch. Not stolen. She has borrowed. She's bollowed. She's bollowed my Switch. You little bugger. She won't put it down. What are we doing? We're going to play poker, aren't we? Alright, somebody is separating all the money out. Cunard playing cards. I think they're made for the elderly because they have really big numbers on them. Oh, not bad. A little bit sticky. Sticky Vicky. Oh, that was pretty. Lovely. Good work. I'm gonna bet 50p. 50p. Give me more 50p if you want to play. 3, 2. Don't want to play. Don't want to play. Probably not a bad thing.
Oh, okay.
3 8s. Right. We've got a full run. Howie has got loads of copper. And those are Howie's cards. That's the community batch. Wife's cards over there. Question is, will the wife play for 50p? 50p.
No.
You don't want to play?
No.
So you don't want to see my cards?
No.
Okay. There we go. Boom. When my wife watches this video, she will be so glad that she did not play. Well done, girl. I tell you what, she's a Texas Hold'em poker player. She's good at this. Okay, folks. Got a big old stash going on in the middle of the table here. And cards out, looking pretty good because yours truly has one of those. And that's in there. So, you know, you've got to play that card. Vicky just bumped it up. I joined her. Go on, show me your cards. Oh, what? 2 pair. You've totally won. You've won all of that. Please take your money. Take it. Oh my goodness. I've just been cleaned out. A wee change of perspective. I don't know why I've suddenly gone all big Clive on you. A wee change of perspective. There you go. Let's get some gas on. Let's get the frying pan in. And let's melt some butter. There you go. Nice already. That's what I love about gas. We've got an electric hob at home and it's rubbish compared to gas. The other thing we need to do is get some... I feel a bit like Gordon Ramsay. We need to get some carrots in there because they're going to take the longest to cook. Cooking is all about timing. So we're going to make sure these carrots are nicely cooked off. We've got lumps of cheese, we've got mushrooms, and we have meatballs, and we have spaghetti pasta, and yeah, I've cheated a little bit. We've got Napolina and tomato and basil Napolina. It's just a nice bit of easy food this evening. No problem at all. So carrots are traditionally quite sweet. Carrots are over there, by the way. We're going to get in here and we're going to find some salt and pepper. I do indeed have a Chinese medicine container with plenty of packets of salt and pepper. So we'll just get some salt and pepper on the go. Just season off those carrots. I think carrots need a pretty liberal amount of seasoning, salt and pepper. We're also just going to put a touch of water in here. There we go. Lovely. Look at that lovely yellow jus. This is going to be fantastic. Next key point. Get the water on. There you go. Little bit of flameage. We need plenty of water in there. There we go. That's quite a lot of water. And we're going to hit that water with some spaghetti. Actually, just a touch of that water is going to go back into the carrots. They just need to calm down a little bit here. You might be thinking to yourself, my goodness, he's overcooking those carrots. But trust me, look at that. Oh, there we go. Actually, yep, I would say they're almost there. For the saucepan for cooking the spaghetti, we need a triple set of salt and some pepper. Let's get a nice milky texture in there that's gonna get thrown away, because ultimately we're gonna have to take that spaghetti, we're gonna have to break it in half and pop it into the saucepan. A little bit of oil or some butter, chuck that in there as well. Alright, breaking up some spaghetti, popping it in the pan. More spaghetti, broken, in the pan. Okay, the spaghetti is almost done. I would say it's getting close to al dente. So time to get the meatballs in. Where are the meatballs? Here they are. We need to get There we go. Meatballs. Meatballs in there. Swedish meatballs. Look at those bad boys. Beautiful. And mushrooms. Loads of mushrooms. Oh, come on. Right. So we've got a nice slow go on the meatballs, mushrooms, and carrots. The carrots got an early cook because they're the hardest bit. So yeah, that's all looking pretty good. Nicely browned off, properly browned off. Next thing to do, oh I know, I'm sorry, you're gonna hate me for this. Chuck a bunch of marinara sauce over the top of it. This is the thing that's going to drive you absolutely nuts. The way to make it work properly is to introduce cream and a little bit of water. I'm just going to put a touch of water in here. Let's get this stirred in. Oh, it's going to be lovely. And then we've got cheese. We've got loads of cheese. And there's the cream. Oh, that's exactly what you needed. Beauty. This needs the salt of cheese. Yes, it does. Hang on to a little bit of that cheese. Put a little bit of that cheese on top of everything. And trust me, you're going to end up with some happy customers in the camper van tonight. There you go. Lots of lovely spaghetti falling out of the saucepan. Chuck a few lumps of cheese on top of that. Get a few of these meatballs in the mix. Oops. Yeah, don't. Yeah, that's gonna be a fix it later moment, or maybe just go ahead and yeah, we'll leave that there. There we go. Spaghetti and meatballs, fork, and extra cheese. Spaghetti meatballs. So sorry if you didn't get to see the final of the meatballs and spaghetti last night, because I ran out of storage, so I've pulled the SD card from my dash cam and stuffed it into my little pocket camera here. So wife and I are heading to Tan Hill Inn, which is on the Yorkshire Dales, and you can't see a thing. Let me show you what's going on here. The weather is just dire. There's wind, there's rain. Look at the streaks that are getting blown across the windshield. Oh my goodness. Right, here you go, Vicky. Hold the camera, point it forwards, and let's show people what driving up here looks like. It's just, I can't see anybody behind me. All right, there we go. It's just sideways wind, and yeah. Right, we had a little bit of a break in the rain. But there we go. Look at that. Bubble. at that. Table and chairs inside a little rock cave. Lovely little fire pit, and plenty of sheep poo to keep you company. Just magnificent, really. What a great place to play around. Fantastic. Just lovely rolling hillsides now. Thankfully the rain has cleared up a little bit. It's still very, very windy up here. We've tucked ourselves away as close to the building as we can so that we're protected and shielded from the wind a little bit. Wife's got her extra thick woolly socks on, and she's found a massive bowl of Korean kimchi noodles. So there you go. Happy wife. No heater tonight. Heater is tucked away. No electric hookup here. Poor Vicky's going to be cold. Or you just have to get closer to me. The thing I used to do is exactly this. Camping proper. Putting up a belt tent. Look at this thing. Bless their cotton socks. And I think on the inside of the belt tent is a nylon nightmare. They've got a guy rope that's come loose. Wow. Wow. Yep. It's a nylon nightmare. The Yorkshire Dales. Oh, that is probably the worst night's sleep I've had in the van yet, and only because the wind was just relentless. Here's the funny thing, look behind you, and down here, the bell tent has literally been flattened and the nylon nightmare has stayed up. Let's hope whoever was in the bell tent is okay. The pub. Yes, it's still windy. We've come to Blast Beach, which apparently is where Alien 3 was filmed. We've come across to Yorkshire to see my sister and brother-in-law, and yeah, let me show you around this beach. It's quite an interesting beach because they used to use it for blasting, mining work and that kind of stuff. So there's some pools of interesting coloured water here and some interesting looking rock structures. Right, it's cold and it's windy. There's this little tunnel here, this little cave entrance that has been bricked up so you can't get in there. I wonder what is behind that wall. A lot of people have been making fires down here, and I can't say I blame them really. I love a fire on the beach, and they haven't left any rubbish behind, which is nice to see, of course, apart from rocks and burnt patches of ground. But yeah, it's really quite an interesting little beach. I'm quite impressed with it. It's got such a lovely dramatic view to it. It's really quite yeah, I'm gonna have to go and watch Aliens 3 again. So all the stones at this end of the beach are a little bit yellow and a little bit orange, primarily because of the chemicals used during the mining and blasting process that have just been dumped on this beach. And There we have it, folks. That is indeed the end, sadly, the end of our wet and windy holiday adventure in England. In the Lake District, then on the Yorkshire Dales, finally in North Yorkshire to visit my sister and brother-in-law. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and weekend, and we'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget, give us a good old thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Take care. Bye for now. Say goodbye, Vicky.
Bye.
Bye.